There's nothing to worry about. You're gonna be just fine. I'm your #1 fan.
He just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Listen, asshole!
No, you listen, you little bitch. You hang up on me again, I'll cut you like a fish.
You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
It was an excellent day for an exorcism.
I am Dracula.
I am eternal child. I am the eater of worlds and of children.
Welcome on a Wednesday night. Hope you guys had a great Wednesday just like me. It has been definitely a great Wednesday. And now we are here live on Twitch for all you lovely people. I'm your host tonight, Anthony Zaragoza of the Knights of Horror. And tonight we have a lot to talk about, a lot to break down, a lot to get into. And that, you know, with our top headlines we're going to start with tonight, which is we have now confirmed dates for Halloween Horror Nights 2025 at Universal Studios Hollywood and Knott's Scary Farm down at Buena Park, California. Two of the biggest haunts in Southern California, and we have our dates for them, and you can start planning your trips now. Man, it is going to be a roller coaster when it comes to haunt season in 2022. And, you know, every year it's starting earlier and earlier and earlier. This next year, should I say, is no different. We are going to be now starting September 4th, 2025, which I believe is a Thursday because we always do start on a Thursday. And it's going to go through November 2nd, 2025. So we're hitting November again this year. I believe Halloween this year lands on a Friday, so that should be a lot of fun to spend Halloween on a Friday. You can guarantee probably these haunts are going to be probably packed. So prepare for that if you plan to go on Halloween. Usually my Halloween tradition for the last years, since 2019, has been to go to Knott's Scary Farm on Halloween night, and I do it every single Halloween. So I'm excited for Halloween Horror Nights for their dates September 5th through November 2nd. Now, probably watch it because it is more towards a Christmas tone type film. So it'd be perfect time to watch it. So I think I'm going to pick that up pretty soon so I can watch it. But Terrifier 3 was so controversial that people were literally could not sit through the first 10 minutes of the film because it was so gory and so nasty that people actually had to get up and leave or were actually having to get up to go throw up. They were even handing out barf bags at a lot of cinemas just in case you were going to throw up. So this, by far, out of the franchise, is probably, from what I heard, the goriest and the most disturbing out of the franchise, and I'm all for it. Terrifier 2, however, I wasn't a big fan of Terrifier 2. I still don't understand the whole little girl aspect of it. How Art the Clown has like this like little minion, or I don't know what it is, but it's in his head and only he can see it. And yeah, I don't understand that concept. So I think that's what really kind of turned me off for Terrifier 2. Wasn't a massive fan of Terrifier 2, although a lot of people were. And all respect to you guys. I mean, that's just, that's just me. I wasn't a fan of it. Terrifier 3, though, might be the part of the trilogy where maybe it turns me back around. I don't think I ever fell off of Terrifier. I think just after the second one, it wasn't like, for me, it was like, if you're going to go into a third one, make it better than what I saw. I do not know if the little girl is back in his head again. She very well could be. Again, I have not seen the film yet, so I am looking forward to watching that very soon. But yeah, guys, it is going to be insane if Halloween Horror Nights can pull off and bring down Terrifier. I don't foresee the rights of that being very hard to get because it is a much low-budget movie. And Damien Leone has expressed on social media that he would love to see Terrifier at Halloween Horror Nights. He's well aware of what Halloween Horror Nights is, and he would love to see this property, his own creation, at Halloween Horror Nights. And I don't blame him, because Art the Clown has blown up in the haunt community. It went from being just kind of a B movie, like no one really knew who he was, to like just blowing up. David Howard Thornton is just everywhere now. And he's getting all these different acting gigs. I mean, some call him probably the new B-movie king. He might be taking over freaking Bruce Campbell's spot in that competition. But I think David Howard Thornton is a really, really good actor when you really think about it. If he can make you feel all those things while watching these films, then he's doing something right with his job. Not to mention that I think that David Howard Thornton would make an incredible Joker. So if we're watching, maybe call David Howard Thornton, get him an audition or something for the next Batman film. But I think that Terrifier would fit in perfect at Halloween Horror Nights, and I would actually be very stoked to find out it does come to Halloween Horror Nights. Now, so far, based off the rumor mill, we've had a lot of good, suggestions for IPs and things to potentially come to Halloween Horror Nights, and Last of Us Part 2 and Terrifier are two great and strong properties that I would see being the face of the event for 2025. Don't know. Now, take this all with a grain of salt. These are just rumors. We are just speculating. It's kind of, when you speculate, like, okay, this is how I kind of speculate, right? It's common sense, really. Whatever is, you just kind of look at the horror movies that are going to come out throughout the year. And then when you watch the horror movies, if you can see, like for me, when I watch a lot of horror movies, and Hayes can attest to this, when I watch a lot of horror movies, I am constantly like always going like, this would be a great maze. I think this could work out as a maze. Like, it is really up to your imagination if you can see it work as a maze or not. And there are a lot of horror movies with like a lot of scenes where I'm like, this would be great as a maze, or this setting would look cool in a maze. And just based off 2025, like another one I would throw out there for as far as prediction goes, would be the Wolfman. I know we were supposed to probably get a little something of the Wolfman on the Terror Tram this year. I don't know if that section ever opened up or if they ever finished it on time. And I think it was supposed to be an RIP exclusive thing, but I know that the Wolfman made a one-day or weekend appearance over at Halloween Horror Nights Orlando. Didn't look the best, in my opinion. So I am a little worried about the Wolfman movie coming out in January. And if you've kind of paid attention in the past, January is not the best month to release movies. It really isn't. Like, a lot of movies that aren't good or are going to be box office bombs end up in January. And the Wolfman is one of them. The Wolfman is going to be coming out, I believe, January 10th. So, like, right at the start of 2025. I'm still going to go see it because I like Lee Wynell. I think he is a great storyteller, a great director. I mean, him and, what's his name? I'm blanking on his name right now. James Wan. Him and James Wan obviously collaborated together. They went to the same college together, and they created Saw together. And he even, Lee Wynell was even in Saw as one of the characters and co-wrote that movie. So, I mean, and then he did Insidious, obviously, which was a freaking master success, along with James Wan. So like him and James Wan really put their stamp in the horror world, and I don't know. I have high hopes for the Wolfman, but from what I've seen costume wise, if that's what he's gonna look like, I'm a little worried, just a little bit. But I could see the Wolfman potentially coming to Halloween Horror Nights in 2025, especially it being a Universal film. If not as a maze, potentially the Terror Tram, I think could work out really well. Just having like the Wolfman invade the Terror Tram, that'd be something new that we haven't seen with the Terror Tram in a long time. And I think having the Wolfman invade the Terror Tram would fit so perfectly. Just having them run around different parts of the area they have you go, the path that they have you go, especially coming out of the Bates Motel, the Bates House, and the War of the Worlds crash set, could look really fucking cool in my opinion. So, yeah. I'm gonna throw the Wolfman out there just because of the fact that it might be it's gonna be a Universal movie, and it has potential of coming to Halloween Horror Nights. It wouldn't be the first time we've had bad horror movies come to Halloween Horror Nights. If you guys remember when they did one of the horrors of Blumhouse, it was literally Truth or Dare and fucking Unfriended. And the ending was the Blumhouse logo, but they made it into like a scary maze portion. Like they made it into a scene. But the movies they chose, like Unfriended's good, but like Truth or Dare is not. I'll be 100% honest. I did not like Truth or Dare. It was terrible. But when I found out those were going to be in a maze, I was like, okay, Truth or Dare I get, but like, how are you going to do Unfriended? I will say for what they did for the Unfriended section, they did what they could, and it looked as good as it could. The Truth or Dare section I was not on board for. I would say that was not the best maze, but that's just me. I know a lot of people also didn't like Crimson Peak when it came out. I do like anything Guillermo del Toro, so I thought Crimson Peak was just beautiful. And they brought that to Halloween Horror Nights, and that looked beautiful as well. So, it really all depends on whether or not is this going to translate better than the movie in real life. I will say an example of that would have been The Exorcist Believer for me. I thought the maze of Exorcist Believer was way better than the movie. I wasn't a big fan of The Exorcist Believer, the movie, not my cup of tea, but I will say the maze scared the shit out of me, and it was great. It was cool. I really liked the design of the maze. It was such a fun time. And yeah, like I said, scared the shit out of me, and it's going to be returning in 2025 to Universal's Horror Unleashed out in Las Vegas. That's going to be one of the first 4 mazes coming up for Horror Unleashed, and I think that's going to be really cool to start pretty strong with The Exorcist Believer as part of that lineup. But yeah, Wolfman has a ton of potential to come to Halloween Horror Nights, and I wouldn't be surprised. I believe Blumhouse is behind that Wolfman movie. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. But I could see it coming to Halloween Horror Nights for sure. It's going to be, they'll do what they can on it, and we'll just hope for the best, really. Whether that is a maze or they want to take the concept of making it, a Terror Tram. I personally think the Terror Tram would be a lot better, but that's just me. Like I have a kind of a whole concept in my head for a Terror Tram. Also, I got to see the movie too, so I can get a better concept of what that would look like. But for the most part, just having the Wolfman run around the back lot of the Terror Tram area would be amazing. We're going to head down the 5 freeway now. Buena Park, California, Knott's Scary Farm also revealing their dates out of nowhere for Knott's Scary Farm 2025. And if you guys know this, Knott's Scary Farm kind of always starts about 2 weeks after, 3 weeks after Halloween Horror Nights does. So it's always kind of that wait to get there. But when we do get there, it's always super exciting to attend opening night and everything. And we're not even in 2025 yet, and we're getting a ton of haunt news as it is. We've got news for Horror Unleashed for next year, which we got the first 4 mazes that are going to be there. We got Halloween Horror Nights rumors already starting, and we got Halloween Horror Nights confirmed dates. Now we got Knott's Scary Farm confirmed dates. That's 4 haunt announcement news, and we're not even in 2025 yet. We're in December. It's supposed to be Christmas time, and we're still talking about haunt Halloween. Just saying, this stuff is year-round. It is amazing to see that we are getting year-round haunts and just this community is growing more and more every single year. Whether you like to admit it or not, Halloween Horror Nights plays a huge portion in that because of the audience that they drive in every single year due to the properties that they bring. A lot of things in pop culture are represented at Halloween Horror Nights, and a lot of people who are into pop culture, whether it be the 80s, 90s, whatever it is, whatever movies, TV shows they're doing, people are going to show up because of the fact that you get to actually walk through some of these movies in person that they bring into life right before your eyes. But it is just insane to think that it is still December, mid-December, and we are still getting haunt news, and we still have things to talk about and cover. Like, that blows my mind. If you would have told me this like 5-6 years ago, I would have said you're full of shit. But here we are in December of 2024 talking about haunt for 2025. So that is amazing. But back to Knott's Scary Farm, man. Knott's Scary Farm coming back next year, 2025. Number 52. From September 18th, 2025 is the opening night, which, again, is usually a Thursday. And then it's going through November 1st, 2025, which is a Saturday. So they are bleeding into November as well. They are taking advantage of that extra day for that Saturday. We will probably be there both days, Friday and Saturday, for Halloween and for the closing night. It's kind of a tradition. I go closing night to Knott's too. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what Knott's is going to bring out. We're supposed to be getting 2 brand new mazes where Bloodline and Waxworks were. And Waxworks is no shy of having some great properties in that building. Prior to that was Trick or Treat Lights Out. Then it was Trick or Treat. And those are the mazes that I've experienced. There's probably been more in the past, but that location is just so good when it comes to mazes, so I cannot wait to see what goes right there. And, of course, where Bloodlines was, I mean, the Bloodlines maze was beautiful, wasn't executed the best, and I don't think that's anything on talent or anything. That was just pretty much upper management. And it was a beautiful maze. And prior to that, Paranormal was there, and Paranormal was a freaking masterpiece of a maze. It was there for a long time because it was so popular, and now that spot's going to be open once again, and I cannot wait to see what goes there too. There's a lot that could go there. There's a lot of storytelling that can go there. Me personally, and I've said this for years, ever since Paranormal was leaving, even before that, if they were to ever replace anything with, you know, that spot, I would have loved to see a sequel to Paranormal, because Paranormal was supposed to be a whole like ghost show and everything. You're supposed to be at this asylum, and then you start to see like the dark side of the asylum, and it, like, you know, a lot of satanic stuff starts going on in the asylum. It would have been cool if you can take this and go somewhere else and do another abandoned location or something like that, and do another episode, like a reboot or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, there is sequel opportunity for Paranormal, and you can continue that franchise for years and years to come, as long as you can make it as good, if not better, than the original one. I think you're in good hands that you can keep that maze there for a long time and continue to build on that story of sequels for it. That's just me. There's a lot of places you could do that. Like, you can easily do like a haunted house, you know, this big Victorian mansion that, you know, you're coming to investigate or something. You can go to like abandoned buildings or something that like look run down, or do little Easter eggs or something. Like, it's an abandoned Calico fucking blacksmith building and we're going to go ghost hunting in it or something. I don't know. But you could do sequels off that. There's so much to explore with the paranormal side of things. And, you know, I would love to see something big go there. Hopefully something that's going to stay there for longer than the 3 years that Bloodline was. But, hey, it's not Bloodline's fault that it stayed too long, that little of time. It just, in the end of the day, they thought it was going to work with guns. It didn't work with the guns. And then the next year they took away the guns, but the audio was still catered to the guns. And then the last year they didn't really even do anything different about the audio. They just kind of kept the same audio. But I will say this, and we're going to be posting this on our TikTok really soon. I have one of the final walkthroughs of Waxworks and Bloodlines 1842 that I filmed, and I'm going to be putting them on our TikTok exclusively. So be on the lookout for that when those drop, because I will say this, the energy that we got in Bloodline for the last night of Bloodline was insane, man. It was probably one of the best, if not the best, walkthrough of Bloodline 1842 that I've ever walked through. And they were just on a roll, knowing that it was closing night. It was the final night the maze was going to be there, and everyone was on a fucking roll, dude. I wish so badly that I could have taken the opportunity to do the 1 hour challenge with Bloodline. I didn't, unfortunately, but I did get to do it with Waxworks, and I had a lot of fun doing it with Waxworks. It was really cool. So yeah, I think this next year is going to be insane. Again, I think the best bang for your buck, if you're going to Knott's Scary Farm this year, is to get a buffet. And, just a regular general admission, but get the buffet, because that is going to be the year you're going to have all 4 brand new mazes, at least the newest mazes in Knott's Scary Farm, in one area. You already have Widows back there. You have 8 Fingers 9 back there. Now you're going to add 2 brand new mazes. So now you have all the new mazes back there, and it's the best bang for your buck to get those out of the way and into the park and just focus on everything in the park. I'm already calling that right now, just for that sole purpose. I was even calling that at Haunt this year, because I was like, hey, next year there's going to be 2 mazes back here. Buffet will still be worth it. It was worth it this year because the 2 mazes were back there. So now you're going to have 4 brand new mazes back there, 2 that will only be on year 2, and 2 brand new ones that will be on their first year. So take advantage of the buffet this year, or this next year in 2025, because I guarantee you it is going to be worth it, especially with all 4 of those mazes being more fairly new. I think you're in for a treat when it comes to getting the buffet in 2025 for Knott's Scary Farm. All right. We're going to take a short break here, but when we come back, we're going to talk the latest and greatest in the horror realm. We're going to go back to Mortalis, man. Mortalis was one of the bands that we got to interview on the podcast about a year ago almost. And Mortalis is good friends of the channel. You hear the Metal Way as our channel trailer every single time. So special thank you to Mortalis for a great partnership that we've had thus far, and a great friendship that we've had thus far. We're going to play Homefront by Mortalis off their latest album. And when we come back, we're going to talk all things horror and the latest in the horror world, what's coming soon in the world of horror. But now, I give you the almighty Mortalis.
But
Welcome back to Nights of Horror Radio, ladies and gentlemen. We are here, fresh off of some Mortalis. Man, Mortalis fucking kicks ass, bro. I don't care what anyone says. Mortalis fucking kicks ass. It's simple as that, dude. They are keeping heavy metal music alive. I love to fucking hear it. I'm so glad I've gotten to interview them and meet them. They are such amazing people, and they are very creative at what they do. Going into their second album, man, I'm super stoked that they're continuing and going and grinding. That first album was just so fucking thrashy and just gave me reminiscence of the old times of like 80s metal and shit like that. And that's exactly the vibe they were trying to go for, is the big four: Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax. So they fucking nailed it that first album. Seems like they're continuing it and grinding out this next album. It looks fucking killer so far. It sounds killer. Big shout out to Mortalis, man. We're going to play some more Mortalis later on when we get through half of these news buttles. But you guys, we got a lot of news to get into in the horror realm. Now we've gotten the Haunt stuff out of the way. We talked a little bit about Haunt. Now we're going to talk about what's next in the world of horror. And for all you guys that are fans of American Psycho, well, here's your bit of news. American Psycho. Let me turn on my camera real quick. I'm sorry. American Psycho. Everyone's favorite film. Christian Bale really nailed that role, and Christian Bale owns that role. You know, a lot of people told Christian Bale when he took that role that was going to be the end of his career in Hollywood, and he proved them wrong. And I feel like even though that, you know, you look at the story today and it's a little kind of like, I feel like his performance in that film is second to none. It is phenomenal. He does a great job in that film, and I think that movie alone has spoken to the horror community. I actually see a guy at a lot of these conventions that we go to, whether it be Creep It Real, Midsummer Scream, Monsterpalooza. There's this guy that actually dresses as Patrick Bateman, and it's the suit and everything. He's got a bloody face, and he carries around a body bag with him, and he's an actual actor and everything, and he nails that role so well. Like, he is just spot on with the quotes. He's got the Huey Lewis album. He's got the business cards, and he'll even go into details of quote and everything. And I make it a mission to go up to him every single time I see him. So, you know, to see Austin Butler as Patrick Bateman, I have to be honest with you, I'm kind of excited for it. Now, in my opinion, I don't think you can replace Christian Bale, but I'm willing to give Austin Butler a chance. Only because ever since I saw Elvis and then everything else that he's been in since then, Austin Butler has proven himself time and time again that he is a fucking great actor. And he is. I think he nailed Elvis. He's great in that. From what I've seen in Dune Part 2, he is great in that. The Bike Riders, he was great in that. You know, like, he is just continuing to do hit after hit after hit. American Psycho might be an honest to God, like, it might make or break his career, to be honest with you. And now, I already know that a lot of people, you know, are going to be pissed off about this because I know how people are. Remakes, reboots, it's not, I'm not a fan of them either. However, I'm willing to give this one a shot. And here's why. Like I said, Austin Butler is a great actor, great up-and-coming actor. What's going on, Moochie? I see you in the chat right there. Austin Butler is a great actor. And if you get the right director, you know, it could be a great movie. Now, if you guys really know that this is based off a book, American Psycho. So you can go one of two routes for this. You can do a shot-for-shot remake, and it could just be that simple. Or you can honestly go more based off the book and make your movie a little bit different. There's going to be some elements there that are probably going to be the same, but I feel like there are still ways that you can make it different and more yours. So, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. They just casted him. They've just been talking about this remake. Don't know when filming's going to start. Maybe, if we're lucky, early 2026 is what I'm going to predict. I could be wrong, though. It could be late 2025. But I'm gonna predict early 2026 for this new American Psycho remake that was it Luca Guada this is gonna be I can never pronounce shit. Here we go. We're gonna try it. Guadagnino. Luca Guadagnino. That's probably wrong. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Austin Butler is going to be playing Patrick Bateman in the remake of American Psycho. God, Hollywood, you just ran out of ideas, haven't you? And it's just remakes, sequels, or fucking reboots. Anyway, Stephen King. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I feel like we should have a whole segment just dedicated to Stephen King on Nights Horror Radio here, because it feels like his name is always popping up in horror news. Rightfully so. The guy is the king of horror when it comes to storytelling, with all of his terrifying tales. I still have yet to see Salem's Lot, the remake for Max. I heard it is terrific. I got to check it out. But his short story Autopsy Room 4 is getting a feature film adaptation, which centers around a man who wakes up to find himself trapped in an autopsy room. I mean, you got my attention there. Just the fact of having, I think it's a fear for a lot of people, waking up in like a coffin or something like that, or, an autopsy room, thinking that, you're dead, when in reality, you're not dead. Or is there something that's, a little paranormal going on here? I don't know. I'm on board for this. Stephen King is getting film adaptations left and right, whether it's on film, whether it's a TV show, and I've probably seen just about almost all of them. Stephen King, like I said, is a terrific writer. My favorite story from Stephen King, I mean, there's so many to choose from, but I think the all-time favorite has to go down to The Shining. And I know Hayes loves it, and Hayes actually listens to a lot of Stephen King storybooks. She's actually listening to the Skeleton Crew right now. Not the Star Wars show. There was a short story called Skeleton Crew that Stephen King did back in the day. Just so there's no confusion. And I think that, given the right director, I think these things can be amazing. You got to look at It, Chapter 1 and 2. That came out in 2017, 2018, I believe. And great director they had on attached to that. Dr. Sleep had Mike Flanagan, who is, in my opinion, the king of horror when it comes to filmmaking or directing a movie, a horror movie, that is. And Mike Flanagan freaking nailed it when it came down to freaking Dr. Sleep. I think Dr. Sleep is one of the greatest sequels ever made, because it did so well of taking from the Shining book and also paying homage to Stanley Kubrick's Shining movie. So it was a double sequel in the best way possible. Ewan McGregor played Danny. It was just such a great movie. A lot of shot-for-shots that Mike Flanagan redid for that film that looked identical to The Shining. So hats off to Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan is one of my favorite directors right now. In this modern day, Mike Flanagan is up there. Fede Alvarez is up there as well. These guys are just revolutionizing horror and bringing it back to horror. So given the right filmmaker and the right writers, this movie could be fucking terrifying. And don't be surprised if it's streaming on a fucking streaming service. If it ends up in the movie theater, even better, but I wouldn't be surprised with this day and age, it's ending up on a streaming service. Potentially Netflix. But that's just because Netflix is the leader in all of this. But Autopsy Room 4, I'm for it. I cannot wait for that to come out. If you guys been following along with the B-movie, what is it, they're taking all your beloved childhood heroes and they're making them into horror movies now. And the next one is no shy of this, which it already looks terrifying just from that image right there. But Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare is due up next in the Poohniverse. That's what they're calling it, because it all started with Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh got a lot of controversy and a lot of attention when this trailer dropped. It did not get received well. None of these movies have gotten received well, but they seem to be fan favorites, and they keep making more, and they are doing an entire universe that's going to lead up to this big universe where they all meet up. I might have to jump on board on this, and we are going to be doing Frightful Film Club really soon right here on Twitch, coming 2025. So Frightful Film Club might be having to look at the Poohniverse and see how bad these movies truly are or what they're trying to set up for this universe. But all these, you're going to see that they're supposed to be doing a Bambi movie. They're supposed to be doing a Steamboat Willie movie. Like all your favorite childhood stories growing up, whether it was from Disney or, I mean, a lot of these are before Disney. Disney just made them more family friendly, but all these childhood things are going to be coming out really soon. And they have a trailer for this one, which I have not seen yet. So we're going to live react right now to Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare in theaters January 13th through the 15th only. Limited time run in theaters. So here we go. We in London? Let me turn on the...
Peekaboo.
How did you get down there?
I'm Peter. It's nice to meet you.
You guys should be able to hear fine. What happened?
When Timmy went missing, what do you remember?
He's close to Neverland, and he must act now to take the children with him.
It's time to collect.
Oi, freak! You gonna pay for that?
Oh, they're making this shit more realistic. Like, it's not really a Neverland. This guy's just kidnapping kids and fucking calling it Neverland.
Don't worry about Michael. I'm gonna take him to Neverland.
Wow.
So if you need a hand...
Oh, so this one's a little bit different. This one's kind of more serial killer-y. I might have to see this one. This one actually looks pretty good.
Who wants to come to Neverland with me?
They got the Six Flags bus there. This one actually looks fucking sinister. Like, oh, he's flying. Never mind. He does have powers.
In a place where you can be a little boy for the rest of your existence.
Can you imagine if him and Nick Cage's character from... Ooh, that was terrifying. If him and Nick Cage's character from Long Legs met, like, that'd be a big crossover right there, too. Looks like it's going for a gory thing. Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare.
Marco?
Hello.
Marco?
Jump out at him right now. Ready?
Hello.
Oof. All right. Only in theaters January 13th, 14th, and the 15th, and then I'm assuming it will be on video on demand. That actually, I'm not going to lie. I know I just talked shit about this fucking thing, but it actually looks pretty good. I might check it out. I'm going to check it out. If we're going to do this on Frightful Film Club, that's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, we got to check out the Poonaverse with the Winnie the Pooh movies. The two, I know they made 2 so far. I know Immortal Mask did the masks for them, so that's really cool. And now we got Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. And I know they're doing the Steamboat Willie one, which I know is Scott Paid. And if you guys are all familiar with the Scott Paid, we did Zoe's Reborn by them, and we interviewed Christina and the crew twice. That was a lot of fun, and I hope we get to work with them relatively soon. But they are doing a Steamboat Willie based off the movie that David Howard Thornton's going to be in, Escape Room. They're teaming with them, and they're going to do a whole-ass escape room. And I think... I think them being on the news opened a lot of doors for them, and I'm so incredibly proud to see where they've gone. This business for them is booming. A lot of people are showing up. We had a great time going. I was in an adrenaline, heart-pumping rush the entire time, but it was a lot of fun. That was the first extreme anything I've ever done. We completed it all the way to the end, and I'm honestly proud of myself for that because, 5 years ago I wouldn't have done that. So, yeah, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare coming out next month. Should be good. Can't wait for that. And now we're going to watch another trailer. I haven't really put too much focus into it because I wanted to save it for this stream. 28 Years Late Tour. The third installment in the 28 franchise. You had 28 Days Later, 28 Months Later, and now we have 28 Years Later. Aaron Taylor Johnson is taking the lead role of this film. Supposedly Cillian Murphy's involved. Supposedly he's in the trailer, but not as himself, as potentially a zombie. So is Cillian Murphy going to be dead in this movie? I have not seen these films. This might be other films that we add to the Frightful Film Club to watch as a group. I know those movies were made so long ago, so they kind of look B-movie-ish, but this one looks phenomenal. Now, let's check out the trailer for 28 Years Later, see what they got to offer for this one, and see what
7, 6, 11, 5, 9, and 20 miles a day.
Now, 28 years later. A lot of people are hyped for this film.
17,
Very beloved franchise right here. We got June 20th, 2025, so we got time to watch these films. I don't know, man. I have not watched the first movie. I've not watched the second movie, so this third movie looks appealing. I just want to know, is Cillian Murphy going to be in it? Because he was in the first two, and I think this was the movie that really gave him a start in acting. So this was like his big break right here, and these became cult classics, and now we're getting the third one after all these years. It feels like they just announced the third one, like they were going to do it, or maybe it's been just years already, but I felt like they've announced it. Maybe I've just been hearing about it for like the last year, saying that, like, I think around the time Oppenheimer came out, Cillian had came out and said that he was going to produce it and be a part of it and everything, and they were going to do it. So yeah, it's been about 2 years now that they've been talking about it, and I guess they have already been filming. We've got a release date. We got a trailer. So, we're on track to seeing it in June 20th, 2025. It looks like, they've been filming this last year maybe, but nonetheless, I cannot wait for 28 years later. It should be pretty good. Summer 2025. It's going to be a good summer blockbuster right there, and I think it's going to make a lot of money, so that's good. Speaking of sequels, the latest in the Evil Dead franchise. This was just tweeted out by the next installment of the Evil Dead franchise. The last time we saw Evil Dead was Evil Dead Rise, which I thought was fantastic. They did a great job coming back to the roots that was Evil Dead, picking up where they left off in that last 2013 Evil Dead movie, and kind of establishing that universe more and more. And not only that, taking Evil Dead and putting it in a different location than we're used to seeing. Obviously, Evil Dead 1 and 2 took place in the cabin. Army of Darkness took place in medieval times. And then Ash vs. Evil Dead took place in, I think it was Florida, and then they drove around to a couple other places and stuff, eventually going back to the cabin and all that. Evil Dead Rise took place in a Los Angeles apartment building, and I thought it was the greatest setting for a modern-day Evil Dead movie. It was scary. It was terrifying. The Deadites looked nasty and gross, but they looked amazing. And overall, I think Evil Dead Rise was a great fucking film. Another final girl to add to the list of final people within the Evil Dead universe. Don't know if everything is in this universe the same. I think it is. After all these years, like Sam Raimi and stuff and Bruce Campbell are heavily involved with everything Evil Dead right now. And if you read this article right here from Bloody Disgusting, it says 2 new Evil Dead movies are currently in the works, and the one being directed by Sebastian Van Sieck, Infested, who directed Infested, has been titled Evil Dead Burn. So it's written. We got a director. We need to get our cast, and we need to get a start date to film, and then a release date. I cannot wait. I'm assuming Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell are both producing this movie. If you guys remember when Evil Dead Rise came out, they were on that press tour a lot to promote the film, and they've come out and said that they have an entire kind of like storyline, like a book, a Bible is what they called it, of just where they want to take Evil Dead going forward if Evil Dead Rise was a success. Evil Dead Rise was a success. Now they get to go forward. 2 new movies are in the works, one of which has been revealed to be Evil Dead Burn, which I'm assuming this is going to be a brand new trilogy that they're going to be working on. So I'm excited. I love Evil Dead. It's one of my favorite horror franchises. Bruce Campbell, I think, as Ash Williams, is one of the greatest casting choices of all time. Such a funny and unique character and such a very relatable character. But overall, the new ones that they did in 2013 and Evil Dead Rise, which just came out recently, were just phenomenal. They brought the scariness to Evil Dead, and I just thought they were directed in such a way that this is what Evil Dead would have been like and should have been like had they would have had the technology and the budget for it. So congratulations. I hope Evil Dead continues to live on. This is actually, now I'm thinking about it, this will be the 3rd installment of the new remake trilogy. So this will be the 3rd movie of that, which we got Evil Dead Rise, and Evil Dead Burn. There's The Evil Dead 2, and then Army of Darkness, and then Ash vs. Evil Dead, and then the Evil Dead video game. So all that's, there's a lot of Evil Dead content out there, and it's continuing to grow more, gain more popularity, gain more fans of the franchise. But you can't not deny that Evil Dead plays a massive role in the horror community. Hands down, one of the biggest franchises out there. All right. We're going to continue with the news right after this this next break. We're going to go back to some Mortalis, and we got Prophet by Mortalis. So let's take a listen to some Prophet, and then we will be right back right here on Nights of War Radio. Back here on Nights of Horror Radio. That was Mortalis. And like I said, Mortalis is kicking ass right now, bro. I don't care what anyone says. Mortalis is great. All right, let's get back to the horror news, shall we? All right. Nosferatu, the most anticipated horror movie to end out 2024 right now. Let me put my camera back on. I apologize. I think it's the most anticipated horror movie to end 2024 right now. I've heard nothing but praise for this film, and a lot of people are looking forward to this film. It is a great retelling of the classic Nosferatu silent film. I don't think anyone's attempted to really do a high-production version of it. There's been versions of it throughout time, but, like, this is a high-production, well-known actor version of it. So, and the thing that's standing out the most of this movie is Nosferatu's coffin, his basically place to rest. Well, if you guys have, if you're crazy about collecting the popcorn buckets, you might have already seen that they are going to be releasing Nosferatu popcorn buckets, much like this design right here. However, what you're looking at right now is not a popcorn bucket. Focus Features is selling a Nosferatu replica sarcophagus bed for $25,000. This is an actual replica that was used in the film of Nosferatu's sarcophagus. $25,000 is the asking price for this bad boy. Now, any rich horror collector is going to be rushing to get this because this is a piece of art right here, honestly. Like, look at the design of this thing. This thing is insanely amazing. So I can see someone buying it. I like to see who would buy it, but yeah, that's cool of them to be doing that, especially for a fan of, this thing has gotten a lot of popularity. A lot of people think this looks cool, and I do imagine that the popcorn bucket's going to sell out. So that's pretty cool. $25,000 though, bro. Like, even if I had the money, like right now, I have no place to put that. Like, I would have to get a house just to fucking find somewhere. Even then, I don't even know where I would put it. Like, I don't know. It'd be cool though to have. Just saying. Final Destination's Bloodlines. Now, Final Destination has not released a movie in some time. And we thought Final Destination was over with. Nope. We're coming right back to it. The 6th franchise installment, Final Destination Bloodlines, will release in theaters on May 16th, 2025. It's looking really stacked right now for 2025 as it comes to horror movies because, a lot of my childhood is getting brought back or just, coming back. Final Destination, I grew up watching these movies. This is the reason, if you look at that photo right there, it is the reason why I am scared to ride roller coasters a lot of the time. It is the reason why I'm scared to fly, even though I still do fly. Still scared to fly. It is also a reason why I'm scared to fucking be behind trucks in traffic. Final Destination has fucked me up and has fucked up a lot of people. However, these movies are so intriguing as to the deaths, of how gory they can be, how cruel death can be. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they return for in Final Destination Bloodlines. When I hear the term bloodline, obviously, with wrestling, but like, overall, like when you hear the term bloodline, you think of family or people that are related to these people, whatever it may be. Could we be seeing potentially relatives or people that were related to the people from the first film? Potentially, that could be an idea. But I don't know. There could be a lot to do with Bloodlines. I'm excited for it. Cannot wait. May 16th, 2025. Can't wait for a trailer. We should be getting a trailer really soon, so should be good. Keep an eye out for that trailer. I want to give we praised Alien Romulus a lot on Idor Radio over the summer. Such a fantastic fucking film. Fede Alvarez was incredible when it came to a choice of directing an Alien movie. Ridley Scott even himself loved this movie, and he's the creator of Alien. So that's telling you something. Alien Romulus has been honored with a nomination in the Golden Globes for the category Cinematic and Box Office Achievement. It deserves way more, in my opinion. You could have gave it some makeup. Just overall, everything. Film, actors, everything. This film was phenomenal. I'm glad that it is getting a cinematic box office achievement, which, I was happy about it, and I still am happy about it, but then I found out what it's going up against, and I'm just like, oh, well, does it stand a chance? It might, but who knows? But the horror film will compete against Beetlejuice, Deadpool & Wolverine, Gladiator 2, Inside Out 2, Twisters, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Safe to say it's probably not going to win. But it's always an honor to be nominated, right? I mean, you can say that it was a nominated Golden Globe movie. Can't say that about a lot of Alien movies. You can't. But you can about Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus movie. Golden Globe nominated, even if it got nominated for an Academy Award nominated film. And that's all due to Fede Alvarez. Just saying, let the guy do a fucking Alien vs. Predator movie. With the Prey director. I know he's working on another Alien movie. I know there's supposed to be new Predator movies coming out. 2 brand new Predator movies coming out. A sequel to Prey and a futuristic Predator movie focusing on a Predator itself, which it should be a good fucking film. Those Predator movies are so good. So yeah, good job, Alien Romulus. Congratulations for the nomination. I don't think they're going to win it because of what they're going up against, but nonetheless, well-deserved, and it should have been nominated for way more stuff in my opinion, but what are you going to do? I don't run the Academy or the Golden Globe, so there's not much I can do about it. Hey, you remember that video game, Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Because not a lot of people, I think, do. I've been trying to get my friends to get back on it. They don't want to play it, but I might be getting back on it pretty soon, especially with this newest update. They are adding a brand new map, which is going to be a graveyard, which they've shown the footage of. We'll check out the trailer right now, but they're adding brand new characters based on 2 well-known actors. First and foremost, not a stranger to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre universe, well known for his role of Chop Top, Bill Moseley is going to be playing a brand new character for the game. He actually motion capped for it. He actually did his voice work for it, and they scanned him for the game. He is going to be playing a brand new killer within Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The character's name is Bones. You're going to be able to get him right now. If you go install the game right now, you'll have this new pack. Not to mention Skeet Ulrich. If you're fans of Scream, Billy Loomis will be a new survivor named Wyatt. Let's check out the trailer for the latest expansion of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's Kendrick Lamar. We don't want Kendrick Lamar. I don't know why Kendrick went. I think I tried to go full screen. My bad. Assuming this is Bill Moseley. He's got a knife. He's got some rope. Casey Owen Dunn. This is Skeet Ulrich right here. This is Casey's brother. Skeet Ulrich. Looks like a younger version of him. Moseley has Bones.
Ain't no going back now. The cat's out of the bag. This ain't my first rodeo. Get back here.
Wow. This alone might make me jump back to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. For these 2 characters alone. That is massive that they got these 2 horror icons inside this game. Gameplay, here we go. All in the face. Oh no, he's still cut. He cut off her head? Look at this big motherfucker. Hasn't been away from the game for that long. You're just straight creating killers and introducing new characters to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre universe, huh? Got C4. Oh shit.
You're already dead. You just don't know it yet. Now we're swinging. A 1 and a 2. And a 3. Farm to fork. Don't get much fresher than that. Don't hide, friends.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to jump into Texas Chainsaw Massacre. check it out, see what's been going on. Looks like a lot. This new map looks a lot of fun, too.
I've been through too much to die here like a dog.
Graveyard, Bones and Wyatt coming December 12th, which is available right now. All right, so now we gotta get back on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Wow, that honestly was a good selling point for me to come back to the game right there. 100%. I'm gonna be re-downloading the game, checking it out, all that good stuff. If you guys don't know already, they are remaking or redoing, or it's a sequel. I don't know what it is. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, the first movie is incredible. The sequels after that, terrible. You only care about the first movie. Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are huge names when it comes to that film. And Freddie Prinze Jr. has confirmed that he will be returning to the film in some kind of way. And it may look like Jennifer Love Hewitt might be returning to the world of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, this is supposed to be probably one of those legacy movies where, you know, it's like a Halloween 2018 or, you know, Scream, all that stuff. I feel like after Halloween 2018 did what it did with, you know, 40 years later from Halloween and all that, a lot of movies in the horror genre, this is their way of kind of rebooting a franchise or reviving a franchise, and you pull this kind of stunt right here. I don't know what it's going to look like for this next film. This may be a movie we have to give a watch, you know, in the Frightful Film Club when we started up. We have a lot of movies already stacking up in that, so it's going to be a fun. Those will be fun live streams. But she tells Variety, we're trying really hard to make it work. We're so close, guys. I promise I'll make a fun announcement, and it will be amazing. So I guess, you know, if you guys don't know what's been up with Jennifer Love Hewitt as of lately, she is one of the co-stars of 911. So she is doing that full time, and that is a TV show. So, you know, it's a little bit hard to get off of TV shows. But if it can work around the schedule of 911, I'm pretty sure she would do everything in her power to come in the movie, even if it's for a cameo. I think she will do everything in her power to try to get into that film. And I think they are. They're working on it. So hopefully we'll hear something soon from Jennifer Love Hewitt to come back to I Know What You Did Last Summer, and we'll have some real nostalgia. Like I said, we already got Freddie Prinze Jr. returning. If you guys don't know who that is, played Fred in Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo 2. He's already making his return, and he was in the original, so I cannot wait to see what they do with this film. It should be a lot of fun. Here is the cast of The Black Phone 2. Ethan Hawke, Mason Thames, Ariana Rivas, and Madeline McGraw. Mason Thames and Madeline McGraw were recently at Midsummer Scream, as well as Halloween Horror Nights this past year. I'm a little confused about this cast. If you guys seen Black Phone Part 1, Ethan Hawke's character dies. Spoiler alert. Sorry if you haven't seen it. It's been a minute now, but Ethan Hawke's character does not live in that movie. So how is he coming back for the sequel? I guess we just have to wait and find out. But I found it pretty shocking that Ethan Hawke was making a return for Black Phone Part 2, especially after what we last seen his character. We know that the kid and his sister are alive, so I can see them being a little bit older, maybe being a little bit more traumatized about the events of what went down with all that. But Ethan Hawke coming back, that is interesting. So we're going to just have to wait and see. And Ariana Rivas, I think, is a new cast member being added to the movie. So don't know where that's going to lead. Maybe she's going to be a third character that gets involved with all this stuff. Who knows? Black Phone Part 2, I think we can expect that in 2025 as well. And the last bit of horror news for tonight, the iconic film Seven, David Fincher's Seven, featuring, what was his name? I think Ethan Hawke's in that movie too. Seven. No, it's Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt and why can't I remember the other guy's name? Are their names right there? Probably not. Well, anyway, if you've seen Seven, iconic film. Kevin Spacey is the killer in that film, basing all of his stuff around the 7 deadly sins. Well, for the first time ever, a remastered version of David Fincher's Seven will be playing in IMAX theaters beginning January 3rd. And here is the official re-release poster for the return of Seven coming back to theaters. Now, IMAX these days is the way to go for movie making, in my opinion. And IMAX, they're trying to remaster and bring a lot of things back to IMAX to have that high quality look to it. So I cannot wait to see. I might have to go see 7 in theaters. I never got to see it in theaters. I've only ever seen it, after the fact. But yeah, I think I might have to go take a trip to the theater and go see 7 again, because 7 is such a good film and such a good cast. So I cannot wait to see 7 return, especially on an IMAX screen, January 3rd. Shit, babe, I think we're gonna go see 7 on January 3rd, if that's okay with you, or that weekend, if we don't have any plans. We're gonna go see 7. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it tonight for Nights of Horror Radio. I hope you guys are now more informed with the horror world and the haunt world. We are live here on Twitch every single Wednesday at midnight, talking all the latest in haunt and horror news. And you can catch the replay on our YouTube channel, The Nights of Horror on YouTube. Follow us on all of our social medias at The Nights of Horror, or at Nights of Horror on X. At The Nights of Horror on Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok. We have them all. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in for another great episode of Nights of Horror Radio. I am your host, Anthony. You just listen to Nights of Horror Radio right here on the Nights of Horror Twitch page. And we'll see you guys next week. But until then, stay spooky.